Hey guys, so today we're working on the van again. It's been like a week since the last time we did anything. We have everything torn out. Today I am going to start taking apart all the electrical and bring some cardboard in here if I have time and start laying out how I want the cabinet for the electrical to be right there. And while I'm working on that, Ashley is gonna work on tearing out the nasty carpet that's up here. We gotta get all this stuff out of here first, but gotta tear all this nasty carpet out of here. And then I got this truck bed coating stuff that we're gonna spray down. We're gonna kind of try and clean up the metal as best we can. If there's any rust under there, which I'm guessing there's gonna be, try and clean that up as best we can, and then spray some of this. It says it stops rust, so hopefully that does, but then it should also give it a nice grippy texture to the floor, so we can either put some floor mats in there or just not. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. We'll have to see how this stuff works out. And then I've got this it's an amp install kit, but it's just, I got it because it's got some 4-gauge wire and fuses and stuff, and you can always use another whatchamacallit, what the hell are they called? RCA cable. Never know when you're gonna need one of those, especially since I still haven't got that radio working yet, so maybe we need another one of those anyway. But that'll go in the electrical cabinet with all the other electrical stuff. So I'm going to start taking that apart. She's going to start ripping up that carpet, and we'll get back with you when we've got some progress. Alright, so we've got everything out. Electrical's all out. The rest of the wall's out. All those wires are all tucked back behind the other wires. We're just going to build in front of that. We decided that we're just going to do a quick bed frame cupboard right behind the driver's seat for electrical, and then we've got these plastic Walmart drawer things that we're just gonna stick in here next to that basket, cupboard, and just do a cheap little basic build out just to get us going, and so that we can head out as soon as possible. So we just went through and pulled all this insulation, was up in this divot right here all the way around, and we're gonna take our foam board, and I just measured, and we need 1 foot tall pieces ish, somewhere around there, and we're gonna put strips in there just to put some insulation up there, and then we'll spray some of the spray foam behind it to stick it, just so it'll stay. And yeah, so that's what we're going to start doing right now. And then we're going to cover the top part of this window so that we'll still be able to open this to get some ventilation through onto the bed. This whole window is going to stay open, and then that whole window in front of it is going to get completely covered. So we're going to cover the window with insulation. I'm going to plasti dip the window black from the inside. Those of you who don't know, plasti dip is like paint. It's rubbery paint that you can peel off afterwards. I don't know that I'll ever peel it off, but just in case I wanted to, I have the option. But that way, from the outside, it just looks blacked out. You won't be able to tell. And we'll do the same thing with the top part of this window, and then cut some insulation board to fit in the thing so that it fits nice, and it'll like fit perfectly into the window, so we can just shove it in there. and then we can put board over top of it or whatever we decide to do with that. So then we will probably cover the ceiling with some insulation board and then just bits of the walls wherever we feel like sticking it, and that's all we're going to do. So right now we're just going to pick this stuff up and then we're going to start cutting the insulation board for that. Okay, so as you can see, got some of that pink board up there along the sides. I just sprayed some spray foam down into the gap there, and then stuck the foam board in over top of it. Then I sprayed a little bit all the way along behind it on both sides, and then we taped it up there for it to dry, and hopefully that's enough to hold it in there. Looks decent enough for me. Really just going for functionality more than it being pretty with this van. We only paid $1,000 for this van. We're not expecting it to last us very long, so we're just gonna, like I said, do a cheap build out. Our plan is just for this to get us down to Georgia, and we're gonna get jobs down in Georgia, and then save up for another van once we're doing that. Should be pretty decently easy. The only bills we should have will be the insurance and then our phones, and then maybe like a little bit of an electrical bill or something if we stay with somebody, like park in their driveway or something. So haven't really figured all that stuff out yet, but as long as we can find jobs down there, should be pretty easy to save up for another van. Right now we've got a whole bunch of other stuff that we got to deal with while we're up here. We're up in Michigan, so hopefully this van will get us down to Georgia and we'll be able to live in it down there for a while. That's why we're just doing the basic, because it's got a lot of rust, as most old vehicles in Michigan do, and a lot of new ones. So definitely a lot of rust on it. Definitely underneath, especially up front. Yeah, so that's what we're dealing with. So for now, well, right now, that's all the insulation we're going to do for right now. Ashley wasn't feeling good, so I took her home, and so I'm on my own for right now. That's all the insulation I'm going to do for now. We're going to eventually, like I said, put in the windows, and then I want to cover this bare metal with pink board as much as I can. Again, not looking for it to be perfect, just work for now. We are, like I said, we'll be down in Georgia, so we'll be in some warm climates, so I'm not really that worried about the insulation. If we are able to park somewhere that we've got to plug in, we've got an air conditioner we're going to bring with us, so obviously some insulation would help to keep the cold in so we don't use as much electricity, but not really that worried about it because we're not going to be in cold climates. So I think we will be fine with that. And so for now, I'm going to start working on the cupboard for the electrical, because I really want to get the electrical going back in here again. The guy had the speakers wired through electrical back here up to an amplifier he had back here. I unhooked it while I was tearing that wall out, and then I hooked it back up and it wasn't working. So I've got to figure out what's up with that. I ran my own power wire from my old amplifier because it didn't seem like the amplifier was getting any power. It's possible I broke the amplifier somehow. I don't know how. I didn't really do anything that would have, but that's the wires coming out of the wall and tucking into the back of the seat right there, that pocket right there. Those are the speaker wires. Wanted to keep those out of that mess of out of that mess of cables. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do. I'm just going to run my own wires other than that. Because I would assume that those are still working. I gotta assume. I don't know how those would have come disconnected from the speakers just from me taking this wall out, because we've traced those wires all the way back to right there. They go into the wall and up towards the front. So I don't know. We'll see. I want to get the electrical cupboard going so I can get that stuff in there, because I'm going to put the amplifier in there just so that all the electrical stuff is in the cupboard right there, the electrical closet or whatever you want to call it. And also just because we've got solar panels sitting up here not doing anything. These are the solar panel wires hanging down right here. So I'm gonna have to extend the cables up to out over there. The guy had everything like you saw right here, so those cables are pretty short. But so I'm gonna get building on that, and get back with you once I got something done over there.
As always, guys, hope you enjoyed. Comment your thoughts, like, and subscribe. Catch you later.
Everybody fucking rage!